Alright guys, this is the part 2 video of our final boss for the Theros Beyond Death draft. I ran out of time for the video, so this is just part 2. And I'm just trying to essentially just win this one. So he kept the card on top, so it's definitely something he wants. So if it's a giant creature, I don't mind just stealing it with the Portent. That seems like a good creature to steal. So I'm definitely going to steal that one next turn. Get in a nice attack. And then sacrifice it to the Wolf Strider. Yeah, I don't mind that. I can even attack with the Wolf Strider. Given that I do have the Gravebreaker Lamia to give it a discount. Let's just attack with Fall, I think. And it's pretty difficult to block now with the Glory Bringers. Guess I need to trade. I guess I need to sack the Glory Bringer before damage happens. Otherwise, Wolf Strider will die before it happens. So. This is fine, and then we can sacrifice the Glory Bringers before damage because damage is about to happen at the same time, and everything will just die, and I won't have time to get back the Wolf Strider. But now Hierophant is really nice since that can fuel the graveyard, bring back my Wolf Strider next turn. I think we got this game. Opponent seems to be flooding out, and none of the cards really seem like he doesn't seem to have really anything. I guess I can buy him a turn, but we're still fine here. I guess I can just attack with the Venomous Hierophant, or I can just offer to trade. Why not? The trade is fine. I don't mind if he double blocks. We'll just get Rosiona. And I have enough creatures in the yard to escape anyway, so I could also just double 4-drop here. Yeah, that's not bad. Double 4-drop, just be mana efficient. And I still have enough stuff in the yard for the Wolf Strider, so I don't mind this. Alright, we got this. Good game. Opponent's deck seems kind of underwhelming. I think he should be playing 15 or 16 lands. He was definitely flooding out the whole entire game. And his creatures were way too small, I think, to attack, pass, or block too efficiently. But yeah, we got there. Nice 7 and 2. Rakdos Escape. I think I'm going to rename the deck Rakdos Escape. It's not really a mid-rangey deck. It actually does feel pretty mid-rangey. Okay, we'll add this to our collection. And then overview of the deck, since we ran out of time on the second video and we didn't go through it. We have a nice bomb, Shao Spear on 1. Wings of Hubris can help fly over. There's a throw possibility that can prevent looting, prevent flood. Omen of the Forge is fine, removal. Final Flare plays well with the token from Wolf Strider. Creature that's about to get answered by removal plays well with the Grim Physician, plays well with the Omen. Plays well with Elspeth's Nightmare on the 3rd chapter. Plays well the Portent. Yeah, this was our deck. We went 16 lands, and we did have a couple of 5-drops still, but we still managed to curve out pretty nicely in all of our games. So 16 could just be the new 17, now that I think about it. Yeah, I think this maybe should have been a 17 land deck, given that I didn't have a lot of early game. I did have like the Wings to deploy on turn 2, I guess, and Omen maybe to shoot something down, and Thrill to help loot and find our land drops. But overall, it was a pretty fun deck. Just felt more like an escape deck more than anything else. So I'm just gonna rename it to Rakdos Escape. Take my picture, and then yeah, this is a pretty short video. Let's collect our booster packs and pretend we are drafting Theros Beyond Death. Alright, Theros Beyond Death. Pack 1, pick 1. Let's pretend this is a Theros draft. I guess I got 4 boosters. It was one from earlier. Okay, pack 1, pick 1. Gallia is a card I wouldn't mind playing in a red-green deck. but honestly, it doesn't really have too much synergy in red-green. Red-green doesn't really care about satyrs. There's a couple of satyrs, I guess, in that deck, but really cares about 4 power more matters. So I mean, it's still a fine card. I wouldn't mind first picking this, but it's better off if I'm ready in red-green. And red-green is not an archetype that you get into too much in this set, since black and white are pretty powerful. But I don't mind first picking this. Hydra's Growth is also quite powerful, especially if you have a lot of small creatures and 1/1 tokens. Like, just imagine turning your 1/1 token from Omen of the Sun into a real threat. It can definitely get out of hand, so this is also pretty powerful uncommon. Best common in this pack overall is Heliod's Pilgrim. Pretty solid card that can help fetch your Dreadful Apathies, Commanding Presence, Staggering Insights, etc. I think pack 1, pick 1, I would just take the Hydra's Growth to stay open. Green is a very good color in this set. It's close enough in power level to white that I'm willing to just first pick a green card. Since it works so well with Escape, and the 4 power matter thing does happen sometimes in red-green. And green is also a great color to pair with white as well. This can enable Constellation. It goes into your yard if your creature dies, and you get an extra card to escape with. I don't know, it's just a really powerful card, so it's probably going to be Hydra's Growth here. In terms of color ranking, I think black is the best color, followed up by maybe green or white. I think both of those are quite on the same power level, then red, and then blue being the worst color. But yeah, I'll take Hydra's Growth. Here I don't mind Labyrinth, especially if we can pick up these Scovos Maze Wardens, which is at uncommon, so it's not highly likely that you can pick these up, but it's definitely has some neat synergy with the Labyrinth of Scovos, especially since you can just target the opponent's creature and get the Scovos Maze Warden to fight that creature. Also to note, even without the Maze Warden, it's still a fine land in the late game, like a 4-mana tapped ability that prevents a creature from attacking you. So it's a fine card, and also like it can prevent double blocks from happening. So if the opponent tries to double block your giant creature, you can use the activated ability to get that blocker out of the way and get in a nice free kill. So Labyrinth of Scovos is a pretty nice land. Best common is like Incendiary Oracle as an excellent 2-drop that also can pump itself in the late game and exiles whatever creature it trades with, so it's pretty nice. Flicker of Fate is also pretty strong, depending on how many auras you open, but easy Labyrinth of Scovos. Easy Nightmare Shepherd. Yeah, black has a lot of powerful rares, a bunch of powerful uncommons and commons in this set, as you saw from our last video, from our current video or last video. Yeah, this card's just a bomb. If it's not answered immediately, then you can constantly just get your creatures to attack in, and then so Nightmare Shepherd becomes a high priority, the first priority to usually kill once it's on the battlefield. Otherwise, any other creature that ends up dying on the battlefield just becomes a token. So that can also get out of hand. But easy Nightmare Shepherd here. Best common, probably like the Underworld Rage Hound, Final Flare for Black-Red Sacrifice, but yeah, Nightmare Shepherd it is. Easy Setessan Champion. Green is a very good color in this set, and yeah, once this enters the battlefield, if it isn't dealt with right immediately, if you're playing in a deck with heavy Constellation, this can just get out of hand, since it can also just end up drawing cards and turning all of your enchantments into cantrips. Even in black-green, I'll still play this, though black-green isn't focused on Constellation. There's still a decent number of enchantments in this set that Setessan Champion is just a very flexible, powerful card to first pick. In green, there's cards like, I guess, Warbriar's Blessings. In green-black Escape, you can maybe pick up an Omen of the Dead. There's just so many enchantments in this set that even in archetypes and colors that don't focus on the Constellation synergies, the Setessan Champion is still very strong. So easy Setessan Champion. Grey Merchant is also pretty strong if you can make a heavy Black Devotion deck. Especially since you can especially if you're being very aggressive, you can eventually just drain them out with this ability. Overall, if you're being defensive, it's still a fine blocker, but I haven't been too impressed buy this card unless you're being aggressive, so it's going to be best in like a black-red sacrifice deck. Overall, the body's pretty weak. It's just an okay blocker, and but it's still a fine card. Like, I think I would rate this card lower than it was in the original Theros, where this was at common. I can imagine this being at common. You could just draft 4 of these and just win the game. But in this set, it's at uncommon, and it's again a fine way to stall the opponent, fine way to drain the opponent, but not a card I would always first pick. Helios Pilgrim, that's common. Shoal Kraken, haven't been too impressed by as well. It's a decent blocker in the nice, like in maybe blue-green, white-blue, just to help loot, but overall just a fine blocker in a more controlling deck. And blue is the worst color, so of course, the 2021, let's see. We have Teferi's Tutelage. Yeah, I'll definitely take the Tutelage over Gadrak, Sanctum, and Shock. And I'll probably take Shock over Gadrak. It depends on what archetype you're already in, but if it's the first pick, I would definitely take Tutelage and Shock over the rest of these two. If you're already in like a controlling blue-red spells deck, then Gadrak would be a nice body to help block the ground. I haven't been too impressed by Sanctum of Stonefangs. I think it's a little bit overrated. Since it's pretty bad in the late game. In the early game, if you can get this down 2, sure, you can start draining the opponent, but you do need some aggressive creatures to back this up. Otherwise, I've seen games where, since an M20 is very hyper-aggressive, the opponent can just swarm you with a bunch of creatures and kill you. And unlike Illigan Inheritance, this doesn't drain for 4 with an activated ability, so it definitely gets worse. But yeah, easy Tutelage. And there you go, nice 7-win Theros Beyond Draft video. I still don't have enough gems to do a Premier Draft Throne of Eldraine, so I could just do another Theros Beyond Death Draft video again. And yeah, in the meantime, enjoy your Friday Night Magics, and have a great day, guys. Take care.